AZZA Hurricane Mark II Digital RGB are one of the cheapest RGB addressable LED fans available right now on the market, priced at around $14 or euros. This is a good thing given that the new addressable RGB systems are the new craze into the market. These fans, as said before, use the new RGB addressable LED system for illumination that allows for more customizations options and a wider array of color combinations per LED. The second version of the Hurricane model is using a hydro bearing system that comes with increased longevity and a circular ring to enhance the RGB illumination. The fan uses 7 white blades attached to a simple plastic-made hub assembly. The overall design of the blade and hub is simple. The frosted white plastic reflects the light and color evenly. In addition, the front of the motor is covered by a holographic sticker that will change its color depending on the position it's viewed by. Unfortunately, this sticker, as cool as it might be, is not centered and will create a wobbling effect when the fan spins. The back of the fan frame uses 4 plastic beams to hold the rotor and bearing assembly in place. Each of the beams has 4 small wires installed on the back. These are for powering and controlling the addressable LEDs. The actual power and RGB connectors of the fan are attached to the side of one of these beams, and they are right in front of the airflow of the fan. The fan has 2 sets of connectors, a standard 4-pin Molex connector for the power and one 3-pin RGB addressable connector and header combination. The cables of this fan are not covered by any sleeving but are completely black, so that will blend in with the rest of the system. The unique element of these fans comes from the frame, which is composed out of 2 circular layers that are superimposed. The outer layer is transparent while the inner layer has the same frost white finish as the blades. The main goal of this design is to create a circle of light that blends evenly with the blades of the fan and of course enhances the RGB illumination. Unfortunately, while this 2-layered frame does enhance the RGB illumination and the overall look of the fan, it also has some issues. For some reason, there are marks left from the manufacturing process all around the frame on the front side of the fan, and trust me, these small marks are one of those things that when you see them you cannot really ignore them anymore. The corners of the fan are covered in rubber pads to prevent any vibrations from being transferred to the rest of the system. However, these rubber pads are only present on the back side of the fan, the front fan being totally exposed to contact. Now we can move on with the actual performance of these fans. And truth be told, these fans were never actually advertised as either high flow fans or optimized for static pressure. Nevertheless, they were tested on a 240mm radiator just like every other fan. Despite spinning at a maximum of 1800 RPM, the Hurricane version 2 is not really performing in terms of static pressure. While RGB fans are not really advertised to perform as high-end static pressure fans, some performance when installed on a radiator is expected. As it is, I would advise to use this fan as only a case fan. And of course, what fan review would be complete without a sound test? And those 1800 RPM really do show, because this fan is not silent at all, peaking at 40 decibels recorded at 10 cm away from the fan. Priced at around $15 or euros, the AZZA Hurricane 2 is very cheap, especially since it uses the new addressable LED system that is supposed to be more expensive than the regular RGB LEDs. It is pretty clear that most of what you are going to pay for these fans is going towards the RGB system and not really to the performance of the fan. Sure thing that the hydro bearing does offer a longer lifespan for the fan, however, I will recommend this fan to be used as a case exhaust fan and not to be used on a heatsink or a radiator.